For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Welcome to another edition of the Focus program. We've got some exciting things for you today. Try to do that every week, but this week is really a good show. We're glad to have you along. We appear here in Marine City and St. Clair each Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. If you've got an idea for a show, just give us a call here at the CTV studios and we'll be happy to get you or your group involved. Let's begin the show today with some students from Marine City. It's a famous Cardinal Mooney High School. Welcome to Rebecca Schultz and to Dominic Jakubowski, right? Yes. I get it, pronounce it right?
Yes, sir.
And their coach, Mr. Steve Gilliott. Welcome back to the Focus set.
Thank you.
Nice to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
You are with the, of course, the Chief Assistant Prosecutor with St. Clair County Courts, and you also are a parent of a student at Cardinal Mooney, but you're more important for these two guys. You're one of the coaches for the mock trial team. Talk to me about that.
Well, I am the attorney coach for Cardinal Mooney's mock trial team, which means that I will give them a lot of technical, hands-on information as it relates to their preparation of this case. So okay. These are both attorneys that will be trying the case, and we work through some of the legal issues together, and we work with objections, opening statements, everything that lawyers in the real world do.
The mock trial with Judge Cynthia Platzer was a week or so ago.
That is correct.
Cardinal Mooney did well there, but these two are representing Cardinal Mooney where?
We did very well at the regionals. Regionals were this past weekend in Macomb County, and we were the local team. There were two teams that went on to states, and we were one of the two.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it was Cardinal Mooney and De La Salle, and then we are going to the state finals, which are in 2 weeks, and that will be the 10 top-ranked teams in the state of Michigan.
Wow, that's pretty exciting.
Very.
Pretty exciting. Rebecca Schultz, a senior at Cardinal Mooney High School.
Yes.
You've known this gentleman, you told me, since 6th grade because he was your soccer coach.
Uh-huh.
Pretty cool. Pretty
Yeah.
cool. You're from Marine City. Talk to me about what you do at Cardinal Mooney.
Well, I do a lot of things. I play soccer and softball. I also do mock trial, and I do a lot with NHS and Ecology Club.
When do you have time to study?
I figure it out.
What was your involvement in mock trial? How come you like that?
I really had wanted to be a lawyer for a long time, and so I just like the public speaking part of it and logically seeing all the steps and all the work that goes into a trial, because we kind of really don't think about it. It just kind of happens most
Do you
times.
like the law, the trial part of it, or do you like the other side of it, maybe not being a trial attorney, but
I like the trial part.
You like the trial part?
Yeah.
Do you prefer one or the other, the defense or the prosecution?
I like prosecution.
You like prosecution?
Yes.
Okay, very good. You're a senior. Do you have plans laid out yet for
I
next
know
year?
I'm majoring in biology and minoring in psychology with a pre-med track, so I'm thinking Wayne.
Okay. Will you have law in there too at some point?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? You think medicine will be the
Yes.
thing? Well, that's pretty great. Dominic Jakubowski, you pronounce it?
Jakubowski.
Jakubowski. It's a good name, good strong name there, buddy. You're a sophomore at Cardinal Mooney. Talk to me about why you got involved in mock trial.
I got involved in mock trial because I was always interested in law, and I really love mock trial because I get to critically think, and I like thinking on my feet, and I'm improving that skill whenever we go up against another enemy team, because you never know how they're going to prepare their side of the case.
You perked my interest. You said you've always wanted to be an attorney. What time, how old were you when you decided that?
Well, I've always been interested in law. I really thought that I might want to go into law probably when I was in 7th, 8th grade.
Marvelous.
Yep. And before that, I want to maybe major in engineering and go into patent law.
Oh, that's very interesting. That's very nice little niche there that not too many people are in. You don't have to fight Jeffrey Feiger.
No.
You're from Algonac. You're from Marine City.
Yes.
Talk to me about your experiences at Cardinal Mooney.
I've had a wonderful experience at Cardinal Mooney. I participate in a lot of extracurricular activities. I'm part of the Ecology Club, robotics, mock trial, and now I'm being inducted into the National Honor Society.
Busy guy.
Definitely.
Busy guy. 160 students, you said, about figures?
Yes.
That's good, and it continues to grow.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. These are great examples, aren't they, Steve?
Oh, they're wonderful examples, absolutely.
So talk to me about what you're preparing for. Let me see, it says here, Dominic, you're going to play 2 roles. You're going to be a witness as well as an attorney.
Yes.
How do you prepare for that?
Well, with the witnesses, there's witness statements inside of the case that you need to reread and make sure that you understand your role and get ready to play the part and put your twist onto the character.
Okay, and then the attorney part?
I make questions while watching and looking at the witness statements of the other witnesses that are part of the case. I make my questions and I prepare our theme of our side of the trial.
Very cool. And how about you, Rebecca? What's your role going to be?
I'm a prosecuting attorney, and then Dominic is my witness, so I direct him. So we really work together on getting the normal flow of conversation, like when I'm asking him about his witness statement, because that part's all rehearsed.
Pretty cool stuff. So where are you going? When is the competition again?
It's March 19th.
March 19th, and it's going to be held where?
In Lansing.
Okay. And is it a 1-day, 2-day kind of thing? Or
It's a one-day competition.
1-day competition?
Mm-hmm.
And you said there was 10 other teams?
10 other teams.
Okay. And how do you think your chances are? Do you know anything about the other teams?
Well, they rank us by points that were won in the regionals, and we're ranked number 2 in the state right now.
Wow.
So I'd say we have a good chance.
Yeah, that's very good. Well, good luck to both of you.
Thank
You're
you.
Big, fine
Thank you so
examples
much.
of young Americans. Steve, you did a good job again.
I got good kids.
Makes it easy, doesn't it?
It
Well,
does.
you still got to work with them.
Well, a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Always a pleasure, Steve.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so
You
much.
too, Paul.
That's it for this segment. We've got Dan Casey coming up from the Economic Development Alliance. We'll be right back with that. Nice to see you.
You too, Paul.
Happy the high holidays this month. March 17th, the Casey family has banners and you wave up and down the street, right?
That's right. We're getting ready to celebrate.
They can celebrate the family holiday. You are the CEO of the Economic Alliance Association
Close enough.
Close
Economic
enough.
Development Alliance.
of St. Clair County.
Right.
And we haven't had you in here for a while, and we thought we'd better bring you in and bring us up to date on all the great things that are happening in the county.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, first of all. It's good to be back in front of the camera also. It's
That's
been
right.
a while. Yep.
You started out this way.
I did. Someday I got to get in here and talk to some of your students about, how I
Yeah.
got my start and what I did in television that actually led me into this job eventually. So it was a great experience. And
Where did you go? Oakland?
well, I started off at Chippewa Valley High School, and they had a TV studio there and a program that was brand new. And I think I was in the second class that they had, begun with their broadcast and communications program. And then I went from there to Michigan State University and had an internship at Comcast.
Oh, my
And
God.
I worked in the business for about 16 and a half years before I moved into economic development. So it was really a great time. I have so many good memories of working in TV and all the people I interviewed over the years. So I always like to come back and get on
It gets
camera
in
again.
your blood. It's like
Little bit,
being in
yeah.
the horse racing business or something.
Yeah.
It's you get bid on it, and it's a wonderful thing to be able to communicate with people, and you do it well in your current job. So.
Well, I had the fortune of interviewing a lot of people. Phyllis Diller was one. That was a blast. Andrew Shue, who was with Melrose Place at the time.
Yeah.
TV program way back in the day, and a bunch of other people. So it was a great career to be in. But I'm happy being in economic development as well.
What's happening in St. Clair County?
There's a lot of great things happening in the county right now, and it's been like that for a while. Everybody knows we came out of the recession. We really we had a lot of ground to make up, and we had a lot of jobs that needed to be replaced. I guess one of the worst impacts of the recession was that the tax base of all the taxing jurisdictions shrunk, which makes it that much harder for communities, school districts, and others to pay all of their ongoing expenses and do things like maintain roads and so forth. And so it's going to be years for all these jurisdictions to recover from that. And I think the key to that is new investment that takes place in the local economy. And so fortunately, we've had a lot of that in the last couple of years.
As you mention it, even in this little city of St. Clair here, and it multiplies in Marine City and other places too, but there was Huron Plastics, there was Blue Water Plastics, there was Pine River Plastics. They're all gone. And that was thousands of jobs. That wasn't a couple jobs. That was over 1,000 jobs probably that left town.
Right, absolutely. Blue Water Plastics was a big one for our county.
Right.
One of the largest employers. I think they had around 1,000 jobs at one time. They're gone. They've been replaced by other companies, and their buildings are all full except for the old headquarters. So we've had recovery. We've had good recovery, I think, in manufacturing to replace all of those companies and all of those jobs. I guess the one thing that has not come back yet is wages. And we're beginning to see right now, because our labor market has gotten tighter and tighter, believe it or not. And so companies are now fighting with each other over people. And because of that, some of them are starting to adjust their wages to go higher. So, and that's something that we need to continue for a few years.
Economic development also includes the hotels and venues of that kind. The convention center's been built. There's been a couple new hotels. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of great projects happening in downtowns in the county, in the whole region for that matter. We're fortunate to be able to work on a lot of those projects. And I think the real exciting thing, another thing that came out of the recession is, all these groups used to work in silos back in the day, but that doesn't happen, generally speaking, anymore. So when I go into a meeting to talk to the new owner of the St. Clair Inn, for example, there's a dozen people around the table from different organizations, the community foundation, the city, on and on and on, the county, and we can literally go out and grab somebody. If we need someone to be at the table at a meeting to help make a deal happen or to solve a problem, we can do that. And it hasn't always been that way. So that has led to a lot of great projects happening. I can rattle them off. There's so many of them, but just in the southern part of the county, there's probably close to a dozen different projects that are underway.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, we certainly were down for a long time, and it's about time that we turned around and get some smiles on our faces and some sun in our skies, et cetera, et cetera. How can the general public help the EDA?
Well, I think one thing is we're always looking for projects. We're always looking for leads. We're looking for investors who are interested in doing projects. And we want to help entrepreneurs get their businesses started. So we have a lot of programs to support them, and we have a business counselor, and we do a lot of educational programs as well. So there's a lot of different ways for people to connect. We've done a lot of things that we didn't used to do. Like 2 years ago, we created the Eastern Michigan Manufacturing Association, and we did that not because we needed to get manufacturers together, because we already do that through our organization, but we needed a forum to connect them to educators and workforce development. And one of the things that we've discovered, there's a study that's in draft form that's being done in our region, and it's looking at two things. It looks at the completions for education. So in other words, people getting associate's degrees, bachelor degrees, certifications, or apprenticeships. And it looks at that versus job postings. And so what we're trying to do is align whether our young people and people that are unemployed are going after jobs that are actually available, or are they going into education or taking educational programming that might lead them in a different direction. We're trying to match them up. So what jobs do we actually have available in our county? And we want to first and foremost make sure that we have an ample supply of people to fill those jobs, right? Because those companies are already here and they're already invested. And what we found is there's a mismatch. So we're finding kids that are going into the wrong programs, or they're going, in an inordinate number of people going into healthcare. Well, right now, healthcare is actually flat in terms of total employment in the county. So you'll have a certain number of people that, either retire or leave that industry each year, and we're generating more people through our training programs than we need to replace them. So that's one area that you have to think about before you decide that you want to go to a nursing school. Cosmetology would be another one. Whereas in manufacturing, we're having a hard time finding talent, and some of the jobs pay 6 figures.
Wow.
Yeah, but most people don't know that, and parents have gotten used to telling their kids, don't go into manufacturing. Well, that's where we actually have a huge demand right now for people, that and the construction industry. So those are 2 areas that we try to promote. And until we got Emma together, we didn't really have a way that we could take that information, talk to educators about it, talk to workforce development folks, and look at their programs, and then get feedback from manufacturers on, are you providing the right kind of training that we need? Are you teaching the right type of math? Skills, do you have the right type of equipment? But now that we have that group, we're able to do a lot of those things. So I think it's become a really important model, and the rest of our region is now starting to try to emulate it.
You also got an initiative going a couple of years ago called the I-69 Corridor. What's going on with that?
Yeah, the I-69 International Trade Corridor, it's a group of 35 communities across 4 counties along I-69, starting with Port Huron and going all the way through Shiawassee County. And the purpose of that was that there was an authority created that had the ability to improve incentives for projects to locate in those communities. And they've been doing very well. It's going on to just about its 4th year in existence. It's called a Next Michigan Development Corporation, and there are 10 of those in the state of Michigan, and it's far and away the largest in terms of the number of partners. And it's doing very well. We've done a lot to promote that corridor. So if you think about it, 4 years ago, nobody called it the I-69 International Trade Corridor.
Right.
Today, that name has gotten out there nationally and even internationally, and we get calls from different organizations from around the country who want us to come in and speak about how we organized and what we're doing together as a region to try to promote our corridor and international trade. So for example, we had a Chamber of Commerce in from Kentucky a couple of months ago, and they're along the I-69 corridor in Kentucky, but they don't have the same level of collaboration or spirit of collaboration that we have, and so they were trying to learn lessons from us. So that's been a great group. It's a strategic initiative. I think that we still have a long way to go with that organization and what they can do, but growth potential along that corridor is tremendous and will probably be our economic engine for the next 20 years.
The original concept behind that corridor was that there was a new port in Halifax, and there was going to be the container ships coming in, and merchandise and product would be flowing from Halifax to Chicago, say, for example, or even further. Is that happening?
Oh yeah, that's absolutely happening, and it's projected to continue to increase for the next 20 years. And so trade is going to increase by probably 30% during that time. So that's 30% more trucks on the road, that's 30% more merchandise going back and forth across the border, and it creates a lot of opportunity for more jobs. So one of the growing fields, for example, in the country is in logistics.
Okay.
And so it's people that are involved, and there's everything from people loading trucks to people driving trucks to people doing inventory management to new software programs being written and on down the line. So logistics is one of the key ways that you see industry trying to save money these days. They're not trying to do it anymore by cutting wages from employees or limiting the number of new hires. They're actually trying to do it by controlling their transportation costs.
And you thought you were in a dull industry. You got all sorts of exciting things going on.
Yeah, there's always a lot going on.
Out of television into something,
Yeah, people always ask me, what's your downtime of the year?
Yeah, right.
And I laugh because we don't have a downtime of the year. We're just as busy on December 25th as we are on January 2nd or April 2nd or whatever. So it's a great field to be in. It's very competitive. So if you like sports and you like competing, it's a good business to be in, and we're fortunate in this county to have a strong leadership, some really strong companies, and a lot of opportunities. So we're trying to take advantage of it.
And you're on top of it.
Thank you.
Mr. Casey, Dan Casey, that's the man from the Economic Development Alliance. I'll get that straight. I'll look down at my sheet. Probably it's right there.
Just say EDA.
EDA, that's a lot easier. We'll be back in just a minute with some students from Gearing Elementary that did some great things up at the St. Clair County Community College Science Fair a week or so ago. We'll be right back. Well, we're back, and we're back with some video that was shot a couple days ago over at Gearing Elementary School here in St. Clair. Recently, there was the St. Clair County Community College Science Fair. I think it was the 20th year for that, and the representatives from the East China School District, Gearing Elementary specifically, went up and they won the grand prize. 3 of the students won the grand prize, and they were in the 4th grade. Amazing stuff. Then there was some other winners too. Let's switch now over to Gearing Elementary and take a look at that. Recently, in fact, last Sunday, March the 6th, up at St. Clair County Community College in Port Huron, there was the 20th annual St. Clair County Science and Engineering Fair that was sponsored by the St. Clair County Community College. Been a great event for many, many years. We've covered it for a long, long time. And this year, we are very fortunate again in the East China School District to have some magnificent entries and some really good winners. We've got, there was 49 entries, students from 4th through the 12th grade, and a total of 32 projects. And of those 32 projects, the 3 grand winners, grand award winners, 3 of those are from Gearing Elementary. How about that? Let's meet the first one. Samantha Emerson, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And what grade are you in?
4th.
4th grade. And what's great about 4th grade?
I like doing the math and reading.
Math and reading? Is this your first time at the science fair? Have you done any other entries before?
Well, last year I did it, but I didn't get to go to county.
Okay. What was your project last year?
It was on worms and do they make the soil better?
Worms, huh? So you went from small little worms to, you still got worms, but you got horses and worms together this year. How did you come up with this project? Then we'll look at it.
Well, the trainer, my riding trainer, she helped me come up with the project. And she said that if she got to help me with make up the project, I could use her brown and her horses.
Oh, great. What kind of a horse? Do you have your own horse?
Mm-hmm.
What's your horse's name?
Dodger, and he's a quarter horse.
Quarter horse, and you've been riding for a long time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, talk to me. What are we doing with the worms and the horses? What's the project?
Well, we wanted to see if the worms were going to be resistant to the ivermectin, which is the dewormer.
We're going to see what now? Slow down. Tell me that again.
If the worms are going to be resistant to the ivermectin.
Okay, what's ivermectin?
It's a dewormer that's supposed to kill worms.
Okay, pretty fancy stuff. Pretty high-tech medical stuff here. Talk to me about your board. Step over here. Turn around this way. Come out this way. And then tell me what's on your board.
So our procedure was we go and we collect the feces at my barn. And that was the same day as I had my riding lesson. And then we brought it to the clinic and we put it in an overtube and filled it with like this fluid type stuff. And we put it in the centrifuge and spin it for 6 minutes. And then we put it on cover slides and we'd let it sit for 3 minutes. And then after the cover slides were done, we would put it on a cover slip and put it in the microscope and looked for the worms.
So what's the final conclusion of the project?
Well, the worms were all dying, but they were coming back, and the ivermectin wasn't lasting for 8 weeks like it was supposed to.
Okay. So you think it was a great project?
Mm-hmm.
What about this grand prize? Hold that up for us. The grand prize. Talk to me about winning that. Is that cool?
Yes. It's awesome.
It's awesome. Okay. Well, very good, Samantha. Very nice to meet you. And what's your project going to be next year?
I have no clue.
Well, you keep working on it then, okay? Next to her is Morgan Byland. Byland, is that right?
Beeland.
Byland, come on, stand over here next to me. Okay, and talk to me about your project, which is called Bubble Gum Blowout. What's that all about?
Well, I had a lot of fun making this project, and it was just a lot of fun, and yeah.
Okay, what is the point of the project? What are we doing with the bubble gum?
Well, we're gonna see what bubblegum
That's
brand,
tough to say. It's like Detroit Red Wings. Bubble gum. Okay, go ahead.
what bubblegum brand can blow the biggest bubble.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. How much bubble gum did you have to chew?
Well, we did 3 brands and 3 pieces for each brand.
Okay, and what did you find out?
Well, I found out that Double Bubble had I figured out that Double Bubble had the biggest bubble.
Okay, and does that mean I'm going to have a longer chew, or does it make it just a personal taste?
Well, we chewed each gum for 2 minutes, and so it would be like even, and it just ended up having the biggest bubble.
Okay, what have you got on your board here?
Well, I have pictures and my procedure and everything.
And the final conclusion of the project
Was that Bazooka had the lowest bubble, Hubba Bubba was in the middle, and Double Bubble had the biggest bubble at 3.4 inches.
Those are tough names to say all together, aren't they?
Yes.
So you're in what grade? 4th grade?
Yes.
And have you been in the science fair before?
Nope, this is my first time.
Will you think you'll be entering next year?
Yes, definitely.
What do you think about getting a grand award?
I thought it was crazy, and I was just really happy.
Well, good. Congratulations to you. And finally, down on the end here is Reese Coleman, and I'll stand over on this side. Is that better, John? If I stand over here, step back just one step. Okay, and your project, tell me what it is. It's
An investigation of what texture will a hamster run fastest on.
What texture a hamster can run fastest on. Oh my God, how did you come up with that idea?
Well, we were on our way to church, and I was looking at some ideas online, and there was one where you put different treats at the end of the maze, and so I told my dad about that one. He's like, what if you just did different textures on the bottom? And I was like, I think I like that.
You like that?
Yeah.
So what kind of textures did you use?
I used rocks, sandpaper, polyester foam, hamster bedding, and bubble wrap.
So this is the maze that you built. Did you build that maze yourself?
Well, my stepdad helped me build it.
Stepdad? He did a good job. So each time you did the experiment, you had to empty it out and then put the different material in?
Yes.
And how much time did that take?
Maybe like 5 minutes.
Okay. So, and how long was each test?
Maybe like 10 minutes.
Okay. And what was the what is the abstract? What did you finally come up? What was your conclusion?
That my hamster will run fastest on rocks.
On rocks. Do you raise hamsters?
No. I was looking on Snapchat, and there was this one Snapchat of all these animals in a shelter, and I kind of felt bad, so I decided I'd get a hamster.
Well, great. Do you still have that hamster?
Yes.
Wonderful. Does it have a name?
Yeah, his name is Zippy.
Zippy, because he was so fast. Is this your first time at the science fair?
Yes.
And what do you think you'll be doing next year?
I'm not quite sure.
Not quite sure? Well, very good. Let me see hold up your grand award, too. Is that your first big award?
Yes.
Are you in 4-H or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Well, very good. We also have some other winners, and we'll get them up here. Come on up, ladies. And we want to thank our grand winners here. Just, ladies, you can stay up here. Come on over here. Come on up. Okay. And what is your name, and what prize or did you win? Or tell me about what you did.
My name's Aubrey Donaldson, and we did us three did Which object would slingshot the farthest in a slingshot? A rock, a marble, or an acorn?
How come you guys always have these projects have such long names? Say that one again. Which slingshot
Which object would slingshot the farthest in a slingshot?
and which one was it?
It ended up being the acorn.
Oh, the acorn. Okay. Did you, were you participating? What's your name?
Grace Barker.
Grace, and did you help come up with this idea?
Yes.
And what was your involvement?
We used my dad's pole barn because it was really snowy and cold outside. So my dad let us use his pole barn so we could shoot and test in there.
How many tests did you guys do?
5.
And what was the conclusion?
We came up with that the rock went the farthest.
The rock went the farthest. Okay. Did each one of you shoot the slingshot, or just one?
All of us shot
All of
the
it?
slingshot.
Okay. And your name?
Serena Akavetti.
And Sarah, turn a little bit this way so the camera can see you. And what grade are you in?
5th.
5th grade. And what was your involvement in this project?
I did mostly doing like the slingshot, slinging.
And was it fun? Yeah. What kind of project do you think you want to do next year?
I don't know.
You don't know,
Sure.
but you want to be involved in the science fair. You hope.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And down here, step back one step, ladies. Okay, come on over here. What's your name?
Julia Tobby.
And what was your project?
It was about what substance will melt ice the fastest.
Oh, what substance will melt ice the fastest? And what was it?
It was baking soda.
Baking soda, and it wasn't. What other products did you use?
Vinegar and sugar.
Ooh, vinegar and sugar. Ooh. So, how'd you come up with that idea?
Well, we were looking on a website called Science Buddies, and we found that one, and we know a kid in the other grade above us was doing a project like that.
Okay. So, and what'd you win?
We got a first place prize
Wonderful.
in the county fair.
Wonderful, wonderful. And your name?
Addison Schmidt.
And Addison, what did you two work together, or you got your own project?
We worked together as partners.
And what kind of things did you do to come up with this award?
We kind of, yeah, like what Julia said, we kind of just went on Science Buddies and searched around, and we found that baking soda melted ice the fastest, but we also found that in the first, when we were first looking at it, the 3 materials were salt, sugar, and sand, but we found it kind of obvious that salt would have melted ice the fastest.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
So
but you found out baking soda was better.
Yeah, so we took our manipulated variable.
And we just sort of mixed the materials around, and we had a controlled variable where nothing was in one of the bowls with the ice cubes.
A controlled variable. I like that. What grade are you in?
4th.
Big words. Go ahead. Keep going.
And we just sort of put them in the fridge, but we knew that since the back of the fridge was colder and the front was a little bit warmer than the back, we would have to rotate the bowls around to see like if it would make a difference or anything.
Wow. You guys think you'll be scientists later?
Huh? I don't know.
You don't know? Yeah, you got time to think about it. How about you?
I honestly have no idea.
I can tell one thing. You two are buddies.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, it's amazing to see this. This is the second year we've done this. Last year we were at Pine River, but there's just great stories in the East China schools with these young people who are so involved in science and got such great minds, and it's exciting to see. Boy, that was great. The winners there are winners for a long, long time in the future. Nice young people from Gearing Elementary. We congratulate them on their success at the St. Clair County Community College Science Fair for the 20th year of that event. That about does it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, I'm Paul Dingeman. See you soon.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.